Hey guys, how's it going? It's the Crypto Analyst here, and I hope all of you guys are having a good morning, evening, wherever you guys are from, and welcome back to another Bitcoin technical analysis. Now, it's decision time for Bitcoin. Tensions have risen since our last video. Bitcoin has continued to squeeze, and so we're giving our updated chart on Bitcoin and where we believe it's going to go. So if you guys are interested, go and stick around for the video, and do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button, as it does help out the channel a lot. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get on into this video and looking at the updated chart, because honestly, a lot has changed since our last chart. Now, first things first, we're looking at this and we're continually getting rejected by resistance, right? But if we're going over to our candle bars, a little bit has changed, and what we've actually seen is that yesterday we had a massive green candle. Well, I don't want to say massive, but a pretty significant one of about $150 to $200 in the span of a couple of minutes. Now, it was a pretty quick explosion. I was at my computer when it happened, shot up fairly fast, and then took a little bit longer to fall back down. But upon seeing the retrace, what you saw is the initial retrace closing between our 6 swing high resistance and our 3 swing high resistance. So what I mean is the past 3 swing highs, 1, 2, and now 3. It's currently in between that one and in between our 6 swing high one. So it's kind of in this still, a squeeze of sorts, because it's in a let me zoom in here so I can properly show this here. I have it circled, and so if we look at this, we're seeing it squeezed between these two resistances, but also between the EMAs. Now, what you have here is you have your 200 EMA, your 200 MA, which is the blue, and your 50-day EMA, which is the light red. Now, when it's getting squeezed in here, you have to realize that there's also resistances. Now there's supports. Now you have your EMAs, which are almost all on top of each other at this point, all getting squeezed here. Now, originally I was saying that this was very bearish because I was looking at this continually getting rejected from resistance right here once again right here, once again if we zoom in right here on this red candle, and then it was getting rejected right in here, and then sure enough, the last second it actually bursted through and broke the resistance. Now, this does give me a little bit more hope for the bull side, because I was pretty bearish on this, but this does give me a little bit more hope for the bull side. The fact that this is able to break above both the resistances with this piercing candle showed that it has some sign of life, and then settle on top of one of the resistances. So it's a step in the right direction for sure, but I think it still needs to come back down here and get some solid support. I mean, this only lasted a matter of a couple of minutes before this thing retraced back down almost to its starting point, or honestly right now to where it was starting. So of course, we don't want to break out sideways out of this. We want to see some nice volume. We want to see some nice momentum. And I think the best way to do that is to kind of look out here and come back down, test one of your support lines. Probably, one of these top two ones would be ideal so that you could remain keeping higher lows. And then maybe break out of this if you are a bull. Now, personally, I don't know if this is the end. I know Q4 is the best quarter for cryptocurrencies. It is, for the past 5 years, it has, routinely been the best quarter for cryptocurrencies. So with Q4 starting, it has a lot of people hyped up that this could be the start of the Q4 bull run that we're so used to. Now, when we talk about this, remember, I've mentioned this a lot, that a Q4 bull run doesn't mean that we're going to see something like what we saw last year, Bitcoin going to 20K. Personally, I don't think we're going to be testing 20K for a little bit of time, but that doesn't mean that we're never going to reach there again, because we most certainly will, and we will pass 20K, but I think it's going to take some time, and the little price action that we had over here is something that was unique. So with this being going in here, I'm going to go ahead and move ourselves over to our daily charts, because those are really significant when we're looking at reversals. Of course, the same stuff is looking at it over here. You are continually seeing lower levels of positive momentum on your daily MACD, which is, again, still the biggest indicator for me, showing that you are quite literally running out of juice on Bitcoin. You're seeing this daily MACD looks like it's starting to turn here for its very last swing. I don't really see how it can do too much from here. The only reason that this thing is, having any life is because of the slight, price action, the slight volume that we had yesterday during that massive green candle. But again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can maybe even count this as 1 if you don't want to count each hump on this as a separate swing high. But no matter how you look at this, you are running out of all of your juice on Bitcoin. And I think it's just time for it to take a little bit of a dip on your daily MACD. The RSI is saying the same thing. This is looking like it's going to be bearish. You are losing every single swing high. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5, consistently lower than the previous one. And now what the unique situation is that it's decision time for Bitcoin, because we look at the RSI as almost completely neutral, and then you look at the MACD as almost completely neutral down here, and you're saying, all right, well, something's going to happen here because both of them are neutral at this point. You're going to have a decent sized rally. Personally, I think it's going to be a rally down to the downwards. I think the bears are going to get a little bit of price action here before we get any bullish ones, but that doesn't mean that it's the end of the bulls by any means. I mean, again, note that your MACD and your RSI are almost completely neutral right now. So when you're looking at this, you know that a price movement's going to come. It's looking like it's going to the downwards just because you have continually tried to rally up 5 times and, gotten lower highs for the past 5, consecutive rallies, which is not ideal if you are a bull. Again, it's just showing that you're losing strength and you need to come back down, test some support, gain some momentum, and get some volume into this thing so it can maybe even break through resistance. Now, looking at this from a daily perspective, you're seeing the same sort of thing. You're seeing one rejection off of this overbearing 6 swing high resistance, which is about 10 months long now. So you have a 10-month long resistance line that is showing rejection from both the 50-day EMA and from the 10-month long resistance line from the past 6 swing highs on Bitcoin. Now, again, on a daily's perspective, that's pretty significant. We saw this happen up here. It led back down. We touched some support, then rallied up. Personally, I think we're going to do the same thing here. We touched it. We're not able to break through it. I think we're going to come back down here and touch some support. It's only logical and it's only probable. Same thing, pretty much every time you have a daily closing getting rejected here, we see the exact same pattern. So, the most likely outcome from what we've seen over here is this situation over here where we actually had ourselves come back up, touch resistance, get rejected, get a little bit of support in here, come back up for a second rally, pierce through a little bit, and then get rejected again. Now, this is very similar to what we have up here. The same situation's playing out, and I do believe that this is going to break to the downside for that reason again. But, with this being said, there definitely are bullish scenarios here. And one thing I want to point out, someone actually pointed out in the comment section today, is that everyone's calling for bearish stuff right now. At least, a lot of people are saying, oh, we're going to break towards the downside. You have everyone on YouTube and Twitter and analysts, pretty much everywhere you're looking, you're seeing, one of two scenarios, but I'm seeing a whole lot more people saying, is going to be a bearish outcome of Bitcoin here. And with that being said, it raises a lot of attention because so many people pay attention to YouTube videos and to Twitter and analysts and groups. And if everyone's calling for these bear rallies, then what you do is you actually have the cryptocurrency market and how it is, in some form or fashion getting manipulated. You will actually have them get counter traded, because if everyone's calling for one thing, the majority is almost always wrong in Bitcoin. So with that being said, it makes me believe that we have a chance of breaking towards the upside just for the sheer fact of everyone calling for a downside here. Now, of course, technical analysis is printing and telling us that we are going to break towards the downside, pretty obviously here, but with that being said, the majority is almost always wrong with Bitcoin, and with people saying that we're going to break down here, I can't help but think that there might be a little bit of manipulation to break towards the upside a little bit. So I know it's at a really crucial point, and we're in a squeeze within a squeeze. I think we're actually within a squeeze within a squeeze within a squeeze. Someone was talking about that on my Discord today, but this is just such a risky area. I know everyone in my Discord this morning was talking about how this is their no trade zone, this is my no trade zone, no large bets are going to be placed here. It's just so risky, and with the amount of squeezing that's going on with Bitcoin right now, you don't want to get caught at the opposite end of the stick. We saw this a little bit with people placing shorts on resistance up here, and all of a sudden you had a piercing candle of $150 in 3 minutes time, and it just started liquidating shorts left and right. And so a lot of people are nervous now with this happening, and that they're now calling this a no trade zone. So Bitcoin's in a very unique spot right now. If you look at the order books too, the order books are just so unique in comparison to the price action and how everything's going. There's a guy an admin in my Discord named XJ, and we were talking about this. The order book for what we're seeing over here is just so unique. It's not something that we're quite used to, and it's a hard spot to be in for Bitcoin. So that's for sure. So that's going to go and round off this video, guys. If you guys aren't already a part of the Patreon or the Discord or Twitter or anything, you guys want to follow me, you guys can look at those in the description. description below. I have links to pretty much everything, including my social media, Discord, and everything of those sorts. So if you guys want to check that out, you guys can check that out in the description below. But that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and bring this video to an end. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. It does help out the channel a lot, and I will see you guys in the next video.